Eating too much ultra-processed foods can increase your risk of cancer, diabetes, or heart disease.
Ultra processed food raises the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and cancer.
Here are 10 awful grocery items you should avoid, and 4 that will help you get fitter and prevent disease. Grocery shopping is simple. Grab what you need, rely on labels to make healthy choices, treat yourself to a few things you know are not that great for you, pay and go. Did you know American families now spend over $1,000 a month on processed foods, while rates of cancer in young adults keep rising every year? Do you wonder why medical bills keep climbing? With chronic diet-related diseases now accounting for the vast majority of America's $4.9 trillion yearly healthcare costs, every trip to the grocery store comes with bigger consequences than you think. From healthy snacks packed with sugar to fresh produce coated in preservatives, the truth might surprise you. You might think a salad is automatically healthy. But what if I told you that a single drizzle could completely flip it into junk food territory? Many commercial salad dressings are loaded with questionable ingredients and processed oils that completely undo your salad's nutritional value. Some even contain titanium dioxide, a color enhancer banned in the EU for potential DNA damage concerns. Add in synthetic dyes like Red 40 and Yellow 5, and you're suddenly dealing with additives tied to hyperactivity in kids and allergic reactions. Most store-bought dressings use cheap oils such as soybean, canola, or vegetable oil. These oils are rich in omega-6 fatty acids that can promote inflammation when consumed in excess, and they're often processed so heavily that they contain hidden trans fats. On top of that, these dressings are filled with preservatives like sodium benzoate, which can form trace amounts of benzene under certain conditions like heat or light exposure. Benzene is a known carcinogen. They also contain added sugars like high fructose corn syrup and sodium levels that can top 300 milligrams per serving. If this wasn't enough, a couple of spoonfuls of bottled salad dressing can sneak over 130 calories onto your plate. Add that up and you're getting more than 500 extra calories every week if you eat just 4 salads. That's like downing an extra meal you never planned for, turning your healthy habit into a hidden diet buster. So what's your best bet? Stick to simple homemade dressings with a good quality olive oil, lemon juice, a few spices, or vinegar. Drizzle, don't drench. It will help keep you in energy balance and avoid the metabolic issues that come quickly by eating a diet that is way too rich in calories. But here's the catch. Even if you avoid bottled dressings, there's another healthy-looking item in your fridge that could be quietly increasing your cancer risk every single day. Those easy-to-grab deli meats, ham, salami, bacon, might look like convenient protein sources, but what's hiding behind that smoky flavor might shock you. The World Health Organization classifies them as Group 1 carcinogens, the same category as tobacco and asbestos, meaning there's strong evidence they cause cancer in humans. Just 50 grams a day can raise your risk of colorectal cancer by 18%, and studies have also linked regular consumption to stomach, pancreatic, and prostate cancers. The main culprit? Preservatives like sodium nitrite and nitrate, which can form nitrosamines, powerful cancer-causing compounds, when exposed to heat or stomach acid. But here's the catch. Even those natural or nitrate-free deli meats aren't the savior they pretend to be. Many are cured with celery powder or celery juice, which naturally contain nitrates. Once processed, they behave the same way inside your body, forming the same risky nitrosamines. In other words, the natural label is mostly marketing smoke and mirrors. And that's before we even mention the sodium overload. Some slices pack over 1,000 milligrams in a single serving, enough to spike your blood pressure and wear down your heart and kidneys. A better choice? Prepare your own lean proteins like roasted chicken or turkey breast, or go for lentil and chickpea-based options for sandwiches and salads. You'll get real nutrients, without the preservatives, nitrates, or corporate greenwashing. Now, if you think you're safe because you don't eat much meat, think again. There's a seemingly harmless item sitting in most kitchens that can wreck your gut health just as fast. Flavored yogurt is one of those foods that pretends to be healthy. But what if I told you it's often closer to dessert than breakfast? You'll often see it in the healthy snacks aisle with pictures of fruit and low-fat labels. But here's the catch. Most flavored yogurts are loaded with sugar. Many popular brands contain around 10 to 20 grams per serving, which is nearly the same as a candy bar. A large study that analyzed almost 3,000 yogurts found that flavored versions contained almost twice the sugar of plain ones, and nearly half of that sugar came from added sweeteners. This extra sugar can mess with your gut health by feeding harmful bacteria and throwing off the balance of your digestive system. On top of that, flavored yogurts can sometimes include preservatives or colors depending on the brand, such as sodium benzoate, which can interfere with your body's normal cell function, and artificial colors like red 40 or yellow 5. Remember those? Yeah, better to avoid them here as well. Stick around, we've included better choices than this precursor to diabetes further in this video. But even if you skip the sugary yogurt aisle, there's another breakfast favorite that's even sneakier. It's been marketed as the perfect start to your day, yet it can spike your blood sugar like soda. Next up, breakfast cereals. Now, in 2025, we all know these are not a great choice, but we still cave in because they are such a convenient option when you are in a hurry. After all, they promise to fuel your morning. But could that colorful box actually be setting you up for an energy crash? What used to be a quick and wholesome breakfast has now turned into a sugary trap. Many American breakfast cereals look healthy with whole grain labels and cartoon mascots, but in reality, they will simply throw off your glucose levels early in the day, setting you up for a long-lasting energy dip and brain fog. Up and at them, right? Over the past decade, the fat, sodium, and sugar in cereals have all gone up, with some boxes packing over 45% of a child's daily sugar limit in just one bowl. And that's not just the kids' cereals, the grown-up versions, often marketed for athletes, follow that same sad trend. But is that the only issue? Not quite. There's more. Some artificial dyes, often made from petroleum, have been linked to behavioral changes in sensitive children, including hyperactivity, mood swings, and worsening ADHD symptoms. They offer zero nutritional value but can cause allergies, rashes, and even asthma in sensitive individuals. On top of that, cereal processing removes natural nutrients, while adding preservatives and flavor enhancers that mess with appetite control. It's okay to treat yourself to that nostalgic bowl of cereal from your childhood once in a while. Just don't let it become a habit. That sweet trip down memory lane can quietly lead to weight gain, sugar crashes, and long-term health issues. And here's the twist. While cereals might flood your body with sugar, another breakfast staple takes a different route. It pretends to be a heart-healthy butter alternative, but its chemical makeup tells a very different story. For decades, margarine was marketed as the heart-healthy alternative to butter. But what if that turned out to be one of the biggest nutrition myths of all time? Traditional margarines, think Parquet, Imperial, B-Cell Original, Crisco sticks, and those cheap supermarket vegetable spreads, were once loaded with industrial trans fats, created through hydrogenation, a process that turns liquid oils solid. Even small amounts are dangerous. Just 2% of daily calories from trans fats can raise your risk of heart disease by 23%. The World Health Organization estimates that over 278,000 people die every year from illnesses linked to industrial trans fats. And while many brands now boast trans fat-free labels, the replacements they use, intraesterified fats, aren't exactly innocent. Animal studies link them to inflammation, fatty liver, and insulin resistance, and early human data suggests they may raise LDL, bad cholesterol, just like trans fats do. And don't be fooled by the pastel tubs and omega-3 labels. Many of these spreads are still ultra-processed cocktails of refined vegetable oils, artificial colors, and chemical emulsifiers that can disrupt your hormones and gut microbiome. A safer choice? Opt for real butter in moderation, or cold-pressed oils like olive or avocado for cooking and spreading. Your body knows what to do with natural fats. It's the lab-engineered ones that confuse your metabolism. But even if you ditch the margarine, there's another fast and easy pantry staple that quietly sabotages your heart and metabolism. And most people eat it several times a week without thinking twice. Instant noodles might be the go-to comfort meal for students and busy workers. Heck, we all like a good bowl from time to time. But could that quick fix be silently sabotaging your health? One serving can contain anywhere from 400 to 3,600 milligrams of sodium, sometimes more than your entire day's limit. That much salt puts intense pressure on your heart and kidneys, raising your risk of hypertension, stroke, and heart disease. The flavor packets make things worse. They're loaded with MSG, which can cause headaches and nausea in sensitive people, though this sensitivity is relatively rare. Plus, the noodles themselves are fried in palm oil before packaging, making them high in unhealthy fats. The preservatives and additives used to keep them shelf stable strip away any real nutrients, leaving you with little more than empty calories. Studies have linked regular instant noodle consumption to higher rates of metabolic syndrome, a combination of diabetes, obesity, and heart problems. A combo we would rather stay away from. So even though they're cheap and quick, instant noodles deliver little nutrition while potentially harming your health one bowl at a time. And speaking of quick comfort foods, there's one freezer favorite that looks like an easy weeknight dinner, but it hides a shocking combination that can tank your energy and your heart health. Up next, frozen pizzas. They might seem like the perfect lazy night fix, quick, tasty, and comforting, but what if that easy dinner is quietly wrecking your health? Most commercial frozen pizzas are overloaded with saturated fat, sodium, and preservatives. A single serving can pack over 800 milligrams of sodium and 3 to 4 grams of saturated fat, before you've even added toppings. From listening to the first part of the video, you know that combination is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, hypertension, and kidney damage. It's not because this warning feels repetitive that the danger is less serious, but it doesn't stop there. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry lesson. Hydrogenated oils in the crust, processed meats packed with nitrates, and artificial preservatives like BHA and BHT. The same compounds that have caused tumors in lab animals when consumed at high doses. Even the tomato sauce and crust often hide added sugars, up to 20 grams per serving, along with refined flour and low-quality cheese that spikes your blood sugar and leaves you hungrier later. But here's the real kicker. Making your own pizza at home can cut those risks dramatically. A homemade pizza made with a whole grain or cauliflower crust, fresh tomato sauce, and lean protein like chicken or vegetables typically contains 40 to 60% less sodium, half the saturated fat, and 5 times more fiber. Yes, that much fiber. You control the ingredients, you skip the preservatives, and you still get the comfort food experience, minus the cardiovascular damage. So the next time you reach for that frozen box, remember, a few extra minutes in the kitchen can literally cut your disease risk in half. But even if you've sworn off frozen pizza, there's another so-called smart choice that's fooling millions. It's 0 calories, 0 sugar, and somehow it might be doing more damage than the real thing. Diet soda might sound like a healthier alternative to regular soda, but could that 0-calorie promise be one of the most misleading labels in the grocery store? These so-called diet drinks are loaded with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, which the World Health Organization classified in 2023 as possibly carcinogenic to humans. That classification grabbed headlines. But here's what most people missed. The cancer risk is still theoretical at typical consumption levels. The real problem lies elsewhere. Research shows that artificial sweeteners can trick your brain's hunger and reward systems. They make your body expect calories that never arrive, throwing off the natural balance of hunger hormones like leptin and ghrelin. The result? You end up craving more sugar and eating more overall, often without realizing it. Studies have found that regular diet soda drinkers actually gain more weight over time than those who quit sweetened drinks entirely. There's more. These sweeteners may disrupt your gut microbiome, impair insulin sensitivity, and increase risks of metabolic syndrome, stroke, and heart disease. Even the natural ones, like erythritol and xylitol, aren't necessarily safer. Some studies have linked high blood erythritol levels to increased clotting and cardiovascular risk. In 2023, the WHO issued a clear warning. Artificial sweeteners don't help with weight loss. They might even make things worse. Not everyone agrees on this, but it's still enough to make you find your liquid intake from other sources. And if you think switching to fruit smoothies or cold-pressed juices is the fix, think again. Up next, we're exposing how even the most innocent-looking bottles can dump massive amounts of sugar into your system. They're colorful, fruity, and marketed as vitamin-packed health drinks. But what if those bottled smoothies and juices are really just sugar bombs in disguise? Most of these drinks are nothing more than sugary beverages wearing a health halo. Many pack shocking levels of sugar. Kids' juices can have 16 grams per 100 milliliters, while smoothies often hit 13 grams. One study found that over half of the fruit drinks tested would earn a red label for excessive sugar. That's because these beverages remove the fiber from fruit and concentrate the sugars, leading to rapid blood sugar spikes and energy crashes. Manufacturers often add even more sugar in the form of high fructose corn syrup or glucose syrup. To preserve shelf life, they mix in chemicals like sodium benzoate, which under heat or light exposure can form trace amounts of benzene when combined with vitamin C. Benzene is a known carcinogen. Artificial flavors and colors add nothing nutritionally but can trigger allergies or hyperactivity in kids. Even 100% fruit juice isn't as innocent as it sounds. It lacks the fiber and nutrients of whole fruit while flooding your body with sugar. Be good to your health. Invest 5 minutes in blending your own smoothie at home with fresh ingredients you control. But even if you've ditched sugary drinks, there's one more healthy snack that might still be sabotaging your diet. It's portable, it's marketed to athletes and busy professionals, and it's secretly just a candy bar in disguise. Ah, energy bars. The mirage of health in a desert of desperation. Now, these promise fuel, focus, and fitness, but could your protein-packed bar actually be the least healthy thing in your gym bag? A single bar can contain 20 to 30 grams of added sugar, which is more than the daily limit for women. For example, a Cliff Bar has 260 calories and 21 grams of sugar, nearly identical to a Snickers bar. Even low-sugar or keto-friendly bars come with their own problems, using sugar alcohols like erythritol or xylitol that can cause bloating, gas, and have been associated in some studies with cardiovascular risk. Many bars are filled with processed protein powders, artificial flavors, and inflammatory oils, giving the illusion of health while offering little real nutrition. Some include fiber from artificial sources like chicory root, which can upset your stomach when eaten in large amounts. Despite their convenience, frequent consumption can disrupt blood sugar levels, cause weight gain, and make your body dependent on ultra-processed foods. Essentially, you're paying more for a glorified candy bar with a marketing twist. Overall, that so-called good source of protein is packed with so many additives and hidden calories that it can completely derail your efforts to maintain or lose weight. You're better off steering clear. Now that we've covered the worst offenders, let's shift gears and talk about the good stuff. The 4 grocery items you can buy with your eyes closed in the US. It looks simple enough. Just yogurt, right? But what makes unsweetened Greek yogurt one of the few foods you can actually trust in the grocery aisle? Well, it's packed with protein, around 15 to 20 grams per 6-ounce serving, almost like eating 2 to 3 ounces of lean meat. This makes it perfect for muscle repair, keeping you full and supporting metabolism. The straining process removes extra whey, concentrating protein while reducing lactose by up to 40%, which is easier on digestion than regular yogurt. Beyond protein, Greek yogurt is a probiotic powerhouse. Cultures like Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus help maintain a healthy gut, support digestion, and even benefit your mental well-being through the gut-brain connection. It also provides calcium for bones, potassium for blood pressure, vitamin B12 for nerves, and antioxidants like vitamin E. Studies show regular yogurt intake can lower risks of type 2 diabetes, stroke, and heart disease while aiding weight management. Too bland for you? Spice it up with Ceylon cinnamon, the kind shown to help regulate blood sugar, a few crushed walnuts, and a drizzle of real honey. That's actual flavor from real food, and a few extra calories well worth their weight. But if yogurt's your morning go-to, there's another breakfast classic that deserves just as much love because it's not only budget-friendly but scientifically proven to protect your heart. You've probably heard oats are healthy, but what if I told you a simple bowl of rolled oats can actually lower your cholesterol as effectively as some medications? They're rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that binds cholesterol in the gut and helps lower LDL cholesterol by up to 23% in people with high levels. Eating just 3 grams of beta-glucan daily can reduce your risk of heart disease, according to FDA-backed studies. Oats also slow glucose absorption, keeping your blood sugar steady, is especially helpful for people managing diabetes. Their fiber helps you feel full longer, reduces cravings, and supports weight management. And thanks to unique antioxidants called avenanthramides, oats can reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and even help lower blood pressure. A single cup of cooked oatmeal delivers around 4 grams of fiber, plus thiamine, manganese, and other key micronutrients, all for just 166 calories. Regular consumption is linked to lower risks of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. But here's the catch. Not all oats are created equal. Instant oatmeal packets and high-protein flavored versions are often stripped of their natural nutrients, packed with added sugars, gums, and artificial flavoring, and have a much higher glycemic index. Stick to steel-cut or old-fashioned rolled oats. They keep the fiber, the minerals, and the benefits that make oats a true health food. And speaking of smart investments, what if I told you some of the most nutritious produce in your home might actually come from your freezer, not your fridge? We've all been told fresh is best, but what if frozen vegetables and berries are actually healthier than fresh ones? That's right. Frozen produce is often more nutritious than the so-called fresh versions that sit on trucks, shelves, and in your fridge for days. Flash freezing right after harvest locks in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, sometimes even better than fresh. For example, frozen broccoli can retain more riboflavin, while vitamin C in fresh peas can drop by 50% within just 2 days. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, and Brussels sprouts actually preserve their sulforaphane content better when frozen. Sulforaphane is a powerful compound that helps the body detoxify harmful chemicals and microplastics. Yes, those same particles now found in our blood, our organs, and even the air we breathe. Who doesn't need that kind of cleanup crew in today's plastic-saturated world? Frozen produce is also affordable, convenient, and waste-free, helping you easily hit your 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables year-round without watching them wilt in your crisper drawer. But there's one more grocery staple that might top them all. A single ingredient so powerful, it's been linked to lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers. What if the healthiest superfood in your kitchen isn't something new, but something humans have trusted for thousands of years? That's extra virgin olive oil. It's no longer just a Mediterranean tradition. It's one of the most scientifically supported foods on the planet. Rich in monounsaturated fats that protect the heart and brain, EVO also delivers potent antioxidants like oleocanthal and oleuropein, along with vitamins E and K. In the landmark Predem study of more than 7,400 participants, a Mediterranean diet enriched with extra virgin olive oil reduced major cardiovascular events by 31% compared to a low-fat diet. Its antioxidants protect LDL cholesterol from oxidation, reduce inflammation, and improve blood vessel function, helping lower blood pressure, diabetes risk, and supporting long-term brain and heart health. And the benefits may go even further. Several large-scale studies link high EVO consumption to lower overall cancer incidence and mortality, particularly breast cancer, while laboratory research shows that its polyphenols, especially oleocanthal, can trigger cancer cell death without harming healthy cells. EVO isn't a miracle cure, but as part of a balanced Mediterranean-style diet, it clearly tilts the odds in your favor. Just make sure you're getting the real thing. Many supermarket olive oils are diluted or blended with cheaper refined oils, stripping away most of their bioactive compounds. Look for extra virgin, cold-pressed, and unrefined on the label, a harvest date within the last 12 to 18 months, and a single country origin in a dark glass bottle. A peppery sting in the throat? That's not a flaw. It's a sign your oil is rich in the same phenols that make it so protective. Now here's a quick question. Which of these grocery hacks shocked you the most? Drop your answer in the comments. And hey, if you're not a robot or a time traveler, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss our next mind-blowing grocery guide. Until then, click on the video YouTube has carefully selected for you, and don't forget to spam the comment section with what topics you would like us to break down for you next.